Rental car giant Hertz has agreed to buy 65,000 electric vehicles from Polestar over the next 5 years. The bet being made here that customers are curious about electric vehicles and eager to drive brands beyond, let's say, Tesla. Joining us now, Hertz's CEO, Stephen Scherr, and Polestar's CEO, Thomas Ingenlath. Thank you both for being with us. And Stephen, I'll start with you because I know obviously you've had these large goals to become the dominant player with your electric vehicle fleet in North America. How does this get you towards that goal?
Well, it's certainly a move in that direction. I mean, we're looking to build out the largest electric fleet in North America. This, adding to what we have purchased from and will be continuing to purchase from Tesla, puts us on this journey. Polestar has really developed a very impressive automobile, and to add 65,000 over the next several years will really put us on a position where we can diversify the fleet and really meet what our customers are looking for, whether they're individuals, corporates who are looking to fulfill their own carbon footprint objectives, and then fleets like Uber who want to put their riders into EVs.
I think it's awesome, for especially the business traveler who's looking to have a good experience when renting a car. This makes it, I guess, even better. For Thomas, my question would be, how difficult is it going to be to meet this production goal? I mean, that's a lot of vehicles, especially at a time when we're looking at a shortage of semiconductors and incredible inflation for raw materials.
Well, obviously, this is a 5-year program, and I very much hope that in 23 and 24 we will get into a bit more of a normal, stable situation. The volume for 22, we knew early enough about to incorporate it into our goal, 65,000 deliveries this year. And despite the fact that that certainly is not a walk in the park, we definitely are determined to deliver on that.
And Stephen, Thomas has talked about the ability through a deal like this to get the Polestar brand out there. I'm curious about what that process might look like at Hertz because, sometimes people are obviously doing individual rentals and they take whatever comes their way. What kind of brand building have you sort of talked to Polestar about as part of this deal?
Well, I think, Hertz is all about renting an experience to our customers. And, to the extent that Polestar, has a vehicle that's exciting, people want to be in it. I think that whole category is lit up for our customers. And as I said before, this really opens up a number of diverse channels for us. It's not just about the individual leisure traveler or even the individual business traveler. Now companies want their employees in electric vehicles. So you see consultants or the like, all of whom are renting cars in the course of their work, are now going to be put into these really to fulfill ESG and carbon footprint objectives that their employers, have really put in place.
Maybe even requirements. I mean, it's not also it's not just about renting cars. I mean, you do more than that at Hertz, and there's so much more potential. What do you want to do with Hertz in the next 5 years? Well,
I think Hertz is positioned to be at the center, I think, of a constellation of companies that are coming around mobility. The opportunity to move people and move things in different ways, whether it's electric vehicles or through fleets. Think about what we're doing with Uber, for example, where to this point, drivers have had to own or lease their own cars. They can now rent an electric vehicle from Hertz. There's consistency of product to the on-consumer of Uber. And I think all of that is exciting. And bear in mind also, a lot of what mobility is going to be driven off of is data. We sit on a lot of it. We know where cars are going. We know where people are going. We know where things are going. And so there's a real opportunity for Hertz to kind of take the hill, if you will, in the context of how mobility is going to play out.
Stephen, obviously you're very ambitious in this area. One of the other things we obviously have been tracking at Bloomberg, the class action suit that Hertz falsely accused customers of stealing cars that were returned. What update can you give us on what you've learned through that process and where things go from here?
Well, rectifying this situation is a priority of mine, and I've begun that work, inside the first 30 days I've been at the company. It's unfortunate that even one customer was caught in the middle of what went on. And so where a customer has been aggrieved, you should be sure that Hertz is going to deal with that. But equally, I'm not going to permit people who look to do harm to the company and steal a car, see that as a viable path. In this context, it's important to understand what played out here is we had cars that were stolen or allegedly stolen. We put a police report in. When that car was found, the report was rescinded. And unfortunately, in certain circumstances, when that car went out again, it wasn't, in fact, rescinded, and so the customer was accused. I'm not happy about that. We've put in policies now that will mitigate, if not remove, the risk of that happening again. And again, for a customer that was not, dealt well, we're going to do right by them. And I'd also point out, this is far from systemic. We do 15 million rental transactions a year. This represented literally 1/1000% of those. But again, it's not good for us nor the consumer, and so we're dealing with straight away.
Are you going to be able to settle that suit, or are you going to?
I'm pretty confident that we will reach agreement, to do right by those that were harmed, and put that behind us.
All right, let's get back to the Polestar announcement. I have been, from your inception, a huge fan, Thomas, of Polestar 1. Obviously, is just it belongs in the museum. It's a work of art. I have yet to drive Polestar 2 or 3, but I'm looking forward. Is that a use case for this? For this deal with Hertz? Are you hoping to get people into these cars so they can have the experience and then say, you know what, I need one of those in my own garage?
It's definitely one aspect of us working together with Hertz. People experience a Polestar car. Very often driving a car is a revelation. You actually discover our cars are driver cars, and the quality of it, of the tuning of it. Of course, you experience that once you're behind the wheel. But Stephen explained, I think, very well. This is beyond renting a car for a weekend. This is as well about enabling companies to change their CO2 footprint with tapping into electrification. This is as well about Polestar definitely wanting to be part of the mobility scene when it comes to ride sharing, and for that reason, Hertz offers to us a much broader aspect of tapping into electric mobility than just a private consumer.
Are you going to be able to take on a Tesla? Is that even your goal, to be on that level, or do you want to stick to kind of the luxury niche?
Now, this is clearly about us joining forces in bringing electrification forward. So here, generally, I don't think that our journey really being dedicated to premium luxury segment is comparable to the track where Tesla is now really facing competition with Toyota and Volkswagen. So I think there's a clear differentiation in what we're aiming for in the long run.